Hey guys, Joe Tarnowski here with Bill Carmody, the CEO of TrayPoint. Many of you probably recognize that name. He's spoken at about 10 of our ECRM sessions, and he's also one of the flash topic panelists for the On the Shelf podcast. So if you haven't heard him before, you've probably heard him there or you've seen him at one of our sessions. But anyway, the reason why I invited Bill here today is because he, among his other things he does with digital marketing and speaking engagements throughout the country, he is also just became a certified leadership coach. So I wanted, since a lot of our audience consists of suppliers and entrepreneurs, I thought it would be great for him to talk a little bit about the benefits of using a mentor or a coach to kind of help your business grow. So thanks for joining us, Bill.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here, Joe.
All right. Well, to start off, can you tell the audience a little bit about what a leadership coach is and the significance of that certification?
Absolutely. You know, I realized the biggest jumps that I've had in my career and in my business is when I had either a strong mentor or a strong coach who would help walk me through some of the things that I needed to do differently. Okay. And what I find specifically is that when you have a coach, you're able to process things better. You're able to think about things with more clarity. And so having a coach asks you really great questions to think about the things you're not thinking about. So it really stretches your ability to sort of go outside your comfort zone and think about the things that you're going to really help grow your business.
Gotcha. So it may be some things that maybe you're aware of or skills that you do have, but you're not really keeping them in the forefront of your mind.
Yeah, I mean, essentially what happens is so much of it is inside of us, but we get busy in their day-to-day lives. We get pulled in all these different directions. So how do you really stop and take time for yourself to really think about what's going to move the needle and what's going to move your business as fast as you want it to grow?
Okay, well, what about the certification program? What does that entail and what does that mean?
Sure. So the thing about coaching is that today it's unregulated, which means anybody can hang their shingle up there and say, I'm a coach, and you don't know whether they're any good or bad. So I've run 2 agencies, multi-million-dollar companies, you know, as a CEO, so I have a lot of experience running digital marketing agencies and what it's like to be the CEO. So easily I could have just put my hat up there and said, well, I'm a coach because I say I am. But what I did is I went to the ICF, which is the International Coaching Federation, and I went through a very rigorous program to get certified as a certified leadership coach. And what that means is that I've been designated as someone who's gone through all the training hours and had hundreds of hours of paid clients that'll help make sure that I have the qualifications necessary to be a certified leadership coach.
Gotcha. Okay, and who would benefit? Like who typically do you see for these coaching sessions, like our viewers?
Yeah, so I mean, the people who are watching right now, I think anybody who's in a leadership capacity can benefit from a coach, because what it does, it sort of allows you to sharpen your skills. So the idea is it's going to help you really process and think about the things that matter most in your business and think about the things that don't matter that you tend to spend a lot of time on. Okay. And how do you let go of those things and how do you focus on the things that are going to really move the business forward? So from that perspective, I tend to work with CEOs or people in the executive suite, you know, whether the chief marketing officer, the CEO, or the CFO, COO, because those are people who are positions who generally are leading teams. Yes. And so from that perspective, as a leader, you want to be able to sort of set your priorities, figure out the accountability, and build traction. So you want to be able to say, well, what are the most important metrics of the business? Yeah. How do I make sure that everyone's achieving them? And how do I motivate my employees so that they're doing it on their own, so I don't have to constantly micromanage them?
Well, what about what are the typical sizes of the companies? Because you mentioned sometimes these leaders have teams, but in a lot of cases, like some of our supplier customers, it may be a startup with one person or just a handful of people. Is it beneficial for them as well?
So here's what I think. Generally speaking, if you've been in business for at least a year, you're going to get the maximum benefit from coaching. That doesn't mean a startup couldn't hire a coach. That's not what I'm saying. But what I find is if you've been in business for a year, you know some of the ups and downs. You've been on the roller coaster at least for a while. Which means you understand some of the yin yang relative to the supply chain. You understand the fickle clients. You understand some of the challenges with employees. All of those things really show up within the first 12 months of business. Anytime from that point on, having a leadership coach is going to help you make sure that you're maximizing the growth you've already achieved, as well as sort of looking at the newer opportunities to really bring it forward for you.
Okay, great. Well, how does it work? Walk us through a coaching session.
Sure. So I typically will work in 12-week sprints. So that's 90 days. Gotcha. And so what I do is I meet with a client every week for 12 weeks. And during that time, we co-create exactly what outcomes they want. So whether it's a particular amount of growth, whether it's their marketing program they're struggling with, we look at the issues that are really holding them back from really growing their business a lot faster. From there, we co-create that program together to design it so that they're accomplishing what they want in that that 90-day sprint.
Okay.
And so at the end of the 90 days, what they're able to look back and say, here's where I was when I started, here's what I've able to accomplish, and here's the momentum to propel me forward for the next 90 days.
Gotcha. So they can actually see their progress and track
Exactly.
their progress according to the goals. So you're working with them to help set the goals and then to give them the coaching that they need to actually achieve them along the way.
Exactly. As a CEO, I know every dollar in your business is precious. And so for me, I look at it as coaching is an investment in yourself. So unlike investing in vendors or employees,
Yep.
you're investing in yourself to say, how can I become a better leader so that I can make sure that I accomplish the goals I've set out to accomplish for myself. So what I look for is what's the return on investment for that?
Gotcha.
You know, whether it's basically having better relationships with your employees, whether that's increasing your revenue, decreasing your costs, we look at those things and say, what's the most important for the business? And then we structure the program to design the specific needs of that client.
Okay, does each individual coaching session have its own goals too?
Yes. So within each coaching session, what ends up happening is life continues to happen. And even if you have a goal of, okay, I want to hit my revenue numbers,
Yeah.
you might have a real issue that's stopping you from focusing on your sales or your revenue, because in this moment, it's all consuming. So what I look at is, every session I ask the same first question, which is, what would you like to accomplish in today's session? The
Okay.
reason I ask that every single time with consistency is if there's something new that's come up, I want to be able to put it on the table. If that's the thing that needs to be solved, taking that problem away really allows that complete focus on the things that they really want to be doing.
Gotcha.
Right?
So there may be some new bottlenecks that have come up,
Yes.
or blockages, something, whether it's mental, whether it's productivity or scheduling something that may be getting in the way, that you need to clear that out first.
Totally. Think
Okay.
about a relationship. Right?
Yeah.
If you're going in the middle of a divorce, it's really hard to focus on work.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So I use that as an example
Okay.
because basically, if you have challenges in your family life or personal life,
Yeah.
sometimes that's the number one thing that's getting in the way of you being able to be successful in your business. It's
okay.
all interrelated.
Okay.
However, that's not the purpose of what we're trying to do together. But sometimes that's the conversation we need
get
to
that
have
addressed.
to let it go, right? And so
Gotcha.
you can focus on the things you are interested in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for the everybody in the audience, how would they get started if they want to coach? Obviously, you can call Bill. We'll have his information available. But how would they get started? What do you recommend?
What I find is so important is that when you hire a coach, you're really sort of going to be very, very open and honest and transparent with that coach. And so I do not recommend hiring a coach blind. So what I do is for everybody on this who's watching this video, I give everyone a free 1-hour session with me.
Okay.
They can solve any problem they want. They can come to the coaching session with whatever they want to accomplish in that coaching session, and they will have a breakthrough. I guarantee
Yeah.
that, promise it, and there's no requirement to go anything further than that.
Yeah.
So that's my gift to the world. The reason I do that is threefold. One, it allows them to have an experience working with me. It gives me the chance to see if I'm a good fit for that particular client, and then we can co-design and create the coaching relationship that would make the most sense and decide if it's a good fit.
Okay, great. Well, if anybody is interested in that free coaching session, can we give them your information?
It's calendly.com. So it's calend.lee
Okay.
/Bill Carmody. We'll write that out in the
Yes,
actual.
we're going to have this as soon as this video wraps up. You'll see a title slide with all of his information, and we'll have it in the post as well. So thank you very much, Bill,
Thanks for
and
having me.
great information. And we will see you all soon, and you'll probably hear from both of us soon on the next podcast.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.